Hey, so the very best that one can expect from capitalism is amorality. Very often, however, the system falls far short of that. The capitalist system's sole purpose is to maximize profit and concentrate wealth and power. That's it. Any task that achieves those ends is to be undertaken. Any task that doesn't do so is ruthlessly squashed. This is both the theory and practice of capitalism. And we also know that this never leads to a moral outcome. Hell, the fact that people are willing to be absolute dicks about getting revenge on cheaters is the only reason the system maintains neutral morality as a best practice. But whenever there aren't strict standards in place that are constantly enforced by careful and neutral watchdogs, then the results are just disgusting. We knew that tobacco causes cancer in the 1890s. You heard that right. We knew about the link between tobacco and cancer before the invention of radio. That information was immediately covered up, and the tobacco industry spent decades lying about it and spreading propaganda. Only a hard-fought campaign by underfunded humanitarians managed to curb their lies at all, and it took decades more to start punishing them. Thomas Midgley developed the lead additive for gasoline in the 1920s, and production was immediately plagued by deaths and toxicity due to lead poisoning. And Midgley, DuPont, and General Motors immediately lied to the public about it, claiming that lead is perfectly safe. They spent decades poisoning people by spewing lead into the environment, and then fought for years against the Clean Air Act, which mandated the use of catalytic converters to clean up smog, and the elimination of leaded gasoline, which doesn't let you use catalytic converters. For an encore, Midgley went on to develop chlorofluorocarbons as a safe new refrigerant. And they're remarkable chemicals. They're non-toxic, non-reactive, non-flammable, with properties that can be carefully tuned to suit your temperature needs. The only problem is that they're so non-reactive that, unlike other chemicals, they survive in the atmosphere long enough to reach the lower stratosphere, where ionizing radiation breaks off chlorine radicals that then attack and destroy the ozone layer. The DuPont Corporation swore on a stack of Bibles that they would stop producing CFCs just as soon as that was demonstrated. Then they spent decades lying about it and fighting against legislation that would ban the use of CFCs. They still make and sell CFCs today in places where they're not banned. So there's that. Smog-choked cities in China, slave labor in U.S. prisons, Japanese workers committing suicide, global poverty, the destruction of the welfare state. There is nothing a capitalist actor won't do in pursuit of profit, so long as they think they can get away with it, or that the profits will be high enough to make it worth their while if they do get caught. Trump's shitty administration is busy trying to dismantle ADA protections so that businesses can get away with ruining the lives of disabled people, because putting in a damn ramp costs $200, and that's more than anyone should have to spend on a multi-million-dollar building. Capitalism concentrates wealth and power in the hands of a few people, who then use that wealth and power to eliminate competition, accumulate more wealth and power, and shield themselves from the disastrous consequences of their actions. Again, this is all a natural and expected consequence of the system. Profit, evil, more profit. The best its most ardent supporters have ever come up with is a mythical step 4. Somehow good things happen. As if somehow the system will loop back around so far it crawls up its own ass and starts vomiting up candy and flowers. We've let the right get away with slinging their neoliberal bullshit for too long. Trickle-down economics is an ancient fraud, and we know it doesn't work. Thatcher and Reagan between them destroyed the West's ability to care for its citizens. Capitalism is a monster, and if it can't be destroyed, then it should be bound in chains, thrown in a pit, and buried in its own lies and bullshit.